Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Thursday to you all. Let's just jump right into it because I'm so excited for this. P1Harmony have released their brand new EP titled Harmony All In. I'm fresh off of checking out the title tracks and the jump. Oh my goodness, it is once again a P1Harmony masterclass in writing an absolute hit chorus for me. And, well, the rest of the album is something that we need to check out, and that's what we're gonna do today. And if I remember correctly, FNC are pretty okay when it comes to their album listens and things like that, so we should be on YouTube, which is great. It makes my job a lot easier, and yours as well, because if you want to skip ahead to a certain song of your choice, you can refer to the timeline below, and you can skip ahead, because they'll be chapter based off of whatever we're listening to. It's such a great feature. I love that YouTube can do that. But without further ado, we have to jump over to Spotify real quick. And Harmony All In, I'm gonna actually get this ready real quick. We're gonna skip jump. I just queued it up just so we can get things set up here, but we're gonna skip jump because we're fresh off of listening to it, frankly. It's kind of a time. I massively enjoyed it. But I have the album credits listed on the side here. I did not know that Intak and Jungsob took part in lyrics for Jump, let alone that both Intak and Jungsob would be doing lyrics for quite literally every single song on the album, which is super cool. I love it when a group gets members involved with their projects, or especially when a company lets their members get involved with their own project. So, P1Harmony's Harmony All In. We're going to start with track number 2, Love Me For Me. So, a very powerful title. Lyrics by Han Sung-ho, Intak and Jungsob. Composition, Han Sung-ho, Park Soo-sok, Soji-un, Moon Kim of Room 01. Production team I've heard of before. Jada Gibson. Arranged by Park Soo-sok and Soji-un. Here we go! Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I'm liking the claps. There's a playfulness to this. I like it.
사랑스러워 alright 주위를 아무리 둘러봐도 나만한 놈 없던 거 알잖아 너 빨리 장난치지 말고 사랑해줘 love me love me love me love me
Something about that like bouncy piano with all the clapping. It's giving me very happy vibes. Oh, it's a little bit slower than I thought it was gonna be. Okay.
Na 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 na. Say it now, 어때 나? Say it louder, the best right. 남이 하던 사랑 얘긴 됐고, I wanna love myself 누가 뭐래도. I wanna stay with you.
Really smart way of cutting that instrumental there and just letting the flow take itself. Yeah, it's such an energetic song. And this chorus, even though it does feel a little bit slower because of the way the percussion part is kind of swinging a little. It's a very charming energy.
There's nothing like self-love. No, there's nothing like self-love.
Flex the vocal one time. Oh man, I got invested in that. Okay, Love Me For Me is such a vibe. It's very happy. The beat's actually very hard to describe because it's a very specific niche genre of music I'm trying to think of that I really can't. It kind of gives me the same feelings that I got listening to their collaboration with New Hope Club a little while ago. No, something about it, just the energy of it, just puts a small smile on my face. Not like an outwardly grin, but just a little smile on my face, and it gets me moving. Like it makes my body very happy listening to it. It just gets me moving, the blood pumping. But it's not like an exhaustingly happy song either. And something about that balance is very charming to listen to. It's very lighthearted too. There's a nice bounce to it, even though, like, once you get into the chorus, there's that nice little swing element to it. It's still a very bouncy song, and something about that bouncy energy is really contagious when you listen to it. Ooh, ooh. I quite like that. I also like it following up the title track, because that title track was as high energy as you can really get with that type of music. And Love Me For Me is very much kind of along the similar lines of, it's a very specific type of music that gives you a very specific type of happiness listening to it. And it just plays so well off of it. Like, Jump was a very much more in-your-face, like, full-body, energetic experience. Love Me For Me was much more internal, happy experience. And they play off each other so well. Oh, that was so good. Okay, next up, new classic. Lyrics by Han Sung-ho, Soo-yeon, Intaken Jong-sub. Composed by B.O. Not Counting Stars B.O. Quite literally just the letters B.O. Shoot, that's Do Chedoi? Chedoi? It's in Hangul, but there's no romanized name for it, so apologies. It's what, the second album listen in a row we've run into that, which is kind of embarrassing. Nua, Patrick J. Coy Smith, and Benjamin. Arranged by Nua and the person with the Hangul characters that I can't read. Okay. New classic.
This a new classic. I'm classic, classical. How much she jerked it? I'm for yo. Back in the recipe.
I like the digital.
Mom classic.
Oh, the flow rips too. Hold on. This is very much giving me back down vibes right now. Still the pre-chorus. Very similar to Back Down. The background bua section. Nice touch. Keep it down, do it drop. No side classic, I'm good, or make one of me just it out my first like orchestra. No, sound classic. Running town. Yeah, the flow just flows so nicely on the song. And this two-stage pre-chorus is very interesting, very unusual. Not many people do that. Loving that background vocal section is so cool. It adds a nice meat to the chorus.
If you want it, then change. If you want it, then change.
Oh, this is such a pretty bridge.
Yeah. That's a new classic. New classic.
Oh, that is a filthy industrial EDM drop. Okay.
New classic. Hey, let's make it start. Na 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 na. Where I'm going, this is new classic. Ba 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 ba. Doing magic, this is new classic. Hey, more all day. Let me come and gosh, do it my way. Let the bar. Ba 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 ba. Doing magic,
This is new classic. Nah, that is gross. Okay. New classic, that, like, I'm imagining that's probably going to have a dance break if they ever do a live performance of this. It's asking for one. It's completely setting up for one, which is perfectly fine. In fact, I love it. Oh my goodness, that industrial just post-bridge drop was so gross. But new classic, as I kind of guessed pretty early on, it was very stylistically similar to Back Down. You have the rap heavy verses, then you have the very melodic pre-chorus, then you have a very brief transitional phrase into the chorus, which starts off with a gang vocal section. Much like with Back Down, you know, it was da 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 da, back down, and go steady, back down. You're never gonna back ta 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 ba da da. It's kind of got that kind of sensation to it, except that da 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 is actually a sung melodic part now. And then it's got a really pretty bridge, much like it was with Back Down. I forget if Back Down had a dance break or not. But yeah, that new classic dance break is actual filth. Like that is illegal in some countries. It's that filthy. Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. It's I should probably explain the reason why I'm referring back to Back Down so much is because that is to this day one of my most memorable reactions I've ever made. If you came from the MV, you'll know. But I quickly became obsessed with that song after I listened to it, and it's been such a just like pivotal point in me just really spreading out in like what genres I'm listening into. And it's very nostalgic, new classic, because of that. Because it's taking me back to a time where I just learned about P1Harmony and just that joy of experiencing something so great for the first time from a new group that I'd never listened to before. And it's good times, good times. But enough reminiscing. We got more music, More Than Words, track number 4, lyrics by Jung Intak Jongsup, a purely member lyric credit. Composed by Park Soo-sok, So Ji-yoon, Kiho, and Jung. Members on composition as well. Hell yes. Arrangement, Park Soo-sok, So Ji-yoon. Love it. I love it that more members are getting involved with this project. Okay, let's go. Oh, that panning synth. I like the sound of it. I don't like what it does to my ears though. It makes me a little bit dizzy. It's an extremely smooth song apart from that though. I'm deep in the harmonies there, I hear you. heavy on the vocal harmony. Are we straight in the chorus now?
Yeah,
that must have been the chorus. Big beat switch for the rap verse. Man, the energy for this song really kind of just stays here. Like, once it gets up to that level in the first chorus, it just stays there. Save the filthy drop for the bridge? Okay. Oh, only one part of the bridge.
Show me what you got, what you want, what you love, yeah. Bring it in, matter back, 또 괜찮아도 느껴질 수 있을까? Show ya, true love, it'll get further than your words. Baby, come on, do some, 말을 넘어서 봐. 눈과 몸과 말에 높낮이 사랑만 느끼는 곳 아니야.
It's a very groovy song. And following up a pretty high energy first three songs on the album, including the title track, I more than understand why it's here. It's very much kind of bringing everyone back down a little bit. Like, we got a little bit too energetic in the first three songs. We're going to come back down a little bit, even though it has a very nice groove to it. I'm trying to figure out a good, like, kind of example of a sound like this. Because it's got the vibes, like, musically, at least in terms of the instrumental, similar to, like, kind of you get lounge music, in a way. But it's way too fast to be lounge music. I kind of like it, though. It's very unique in terms of, like, the feeling you get from it. I do have a gripe with that synthesizer. It's nothing against the composition team or the members who wrote it or anything like that. It's just a very small issue I have with it, in that I don't know how well it's going to come across in the recording. So if it doesn't come across well, I urge you to listen to this on your own with a proper set of headphones that have both left and right channels on it. Because when you listen to it, you'll hear the sound pan left to right and kind of like flicker back and forth. It doesn't stay in the middle. It flickers back and forth between your ears, which is fine. But the pace at which it flickers back and forth doesn't line up with the beat of the music. And it's like if you or your family's ever owned an analog clock that kind of runs a little bit too quick, like it runs maybe like 59.95 seconds per minute instead of the full 60. So by the time you get, maybe a couple days in, the clock's already running a minute fast, something like that. It kind of feels like that. The panning synth never really perfectly lines up with the beat. And as someone who grew up around classical music where, staying on beat and like ensemble and things like that was very important, it's hard for me to kind of digest. Which makes me really sad, because I really like the sound of those synths. It's just the weird panning thing they do. And it's not just this song. Every single song that's included that particular synth has that panning problem. Let me know. Let me know what you think about that. So I am curious to know if it's just me being a very classically minded person, or if it's just my brain going kind of crazy. But, I like the song regardless. It's just the synth. That's synth. Okay. Next up, penultimate song, Heartbeat Drum. Lyrics by Han Sung Ho, Soo-yeon, Intak, and Jung Sub. Same team from New Classic. Composition David Amber and Benjamin. Arrangement David Amber. Why does David Amber sound familiar?
Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Dancing round to your heartbeat drum. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Don't slow down when you feel the love.
That's why.
The power is ours. Get louder, heartbeat drum.
Hello.
Together, four letters, forever, heartbeat drum. Tempo 맞춰 같이
Okay, just bring the energy back. I'm down with that.
춤은 우리만의 legacy. 나의 melody is peace and harmony. It's so hypnotic. There's no way to stop it. No. 꿈은 걸을 시간 없어 빨리 대답해. 밤이 되면 안개선 안 돼. 어디쯤인지 모르네 모른 채.
This has got like an arcade racing game written all over it. This motif is so interesting. It's so different from the rest of the song. Of course, it's not a heartbeat drum. It's got that drum feel to it. Yeah, that's nuts. Oh, and the fact that the flow just keeps up with the super fast beat. Hold up, it just went super melodic and I kind of love this section.
1, 2, 3, get ready, go.
Okay, and we've got the full face percussion part over the motif now. It goes slow down when you feel the love.
Come on, yeah, 달려볼까? Unleash your human nature. 더 참지 마, shout it out, no way. Every day, every night, 같이 dance, yeah. 느낌대로 shake it and shake it. 1, 2, 3, get ready, go. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Dancing round to your heartbeat drum. 우리가 부딪혀, drum feeling. 더 빨리 달려보자, go. I'll be there where you go, body 자리 잡아. 나만 나는 듯해 말해 whatever you want. 내려전화부터 때려 달려드는 pain. 따라와, 쳐다봐 나 하루가 다르게 커진 sound 들어봐. Jump.
Yeah, take a breath after that. That was nuts. Dum. Heartbeat drum. Yeah. Absolutely. Yo, that got my heart rate. It's an extremely appropriately titled song. It's called Heartbeat Drum, and boy, does it get your heartbeat going. Oh my. I can imagine just like sitting in one of those arcade racing machines for maybe like a Need for Speed. No, not Need for Speed, Fast and Furious type beat. You know, lots of action, lots of things blowing up, drifting down. It's like Fast and Furious meets Initial D. Mash those two together, put it in an arcade machine. This is the kind of beat you want playing in the background over the menu. Oh. And because David Amber sounded really familiar, I went on Genius, and I have the Genius page pulled up here. Twice as Heartshaker, Twice as Yes or Yes, From S9's Love Bomb, Luna's Satellite. Oh, Luna. NCT Dream's Trigger the Fever. The Boys Hush, Mirei's Marvelous, Everglow's Good Boy, P1Harmony's Secret Sauce. Don't in the Secret Sauce. Okay, I can kind of see it. BVG's Lemonade. SF9's Heartbeat Dream Notes Hakuna Matata. He's greatest of all time. All My Girls Illusion. Golden Child's I Love You Crazy. Want Us is 808. Bro, his CV's kind of nuts. But the song? Also kind of nuts. Oh my. Yeah, that genuinely might be my B-side of the album so far. Like, that song was so good. Okay. I genuinely don't have words to describe it. I'm kind of gobsmacked by that. And I know we don't usually replay sections of the song on these, but just the way this song kicks into gear is not fair. Because this is just like a marching type beat. Still a marching beat. Don't slow down when you feel the love. It's like as you turn the key in the ignition of your car, now that the engine's fired up, boom, full speed ahead. Oh, I'm tired. Okay, final song, I Am You. Lyrics by exact same team as Heartbeat Drum and New Classic. Composed by Park Soo-sok. We knew? We knew. We knew. Ooh, again, no romanized letters. Or no romanized version of the name, so apologies. Moon Kim of Room 01. The second Room 01? Yeah, same. And then Andy Love, arrangement by Park Soo-sok, and I think that's Win. Ooh. One day I will learn how to read Hangul characters, but today is not that day apparently. Here we go. Final song on an album is typically a ballad, but with P1Harmony that's not necessarily the case.
All for you, so call on me. Yeah.
I'm not gonna call this a ballad yet, because knowing them, they could switch this chorus into something really wild and out there. Interesting blend of the electric and acoustic guitars, though. Ooh, vocal part breaking free from the meter a little bit. Okay, ballad. I can dig it.
I am you and you are me. I'm you, you and me.
This is such an interesting blend of musical instruments going on in the background. There's two very different styles going on. Yeah, I love the "Let me dry your tears tonight" line. The fact that it breaks free from the meter is so cool. Again.
주변을 맘도는 나인데 We touch the sky 날개를 맞지 않을 비쪽 빈 곳을 더 고도야 We don't fly I and you and you and you and you are me You just gotta reach
I love that little call and response to fill in the blank part.
Cause I feel the way that you when you feel alone 기억해 내가 곁에 있어 I care Cause I'm you you are me you 우린 같은 맘 같은 꿈을 꾸니까 We lift each other up 서로 마주보며 감싸주겠지 I am you and you are me
Really nice way to end the song too. Ooh, I Am You. Very interesting ballad. It's actually, I find it, I think, even more interesting for a very personal reason. So, for reference, I grew up around 80s rock music, because that's what my parents, specifically what my mother used to listen to. And I just kind of picked up on what she was listening to, you know, whenever we were on like car journeys, put in like 80s CDs on the car stereo and listen to that, and I'd pick it up. And I quickly fell in love with 80s power ballads. Now, that's a very niche genre of the 80s rock scene, the power ballad. And just something about it really connected with me, resonated with me when I heard it for the first time, and still to this day is one of my favorite musical genres, the 80s power ballad. And my kind of love for ballads stem from that. But the more I've kind of like expanded my taste into just ballads in general, I've very quickly realized the power of acoustic instruments in a ballad and just their ability to carry human emotion is so effective. I don't know why. I don't know if there's like a human psychological phenomenon with acoustic instruments and emotions, but whenever I think of like a really emotional ballad, when it's like, you know, stage performances or in film or TV, things like that, I always think of acoustic instruments, whether it's string or acoustic guitar or just a singular piano, things like that. Something about it just really hammers home the emotional value of a ballad that much harder when it paired with an acoustic instrument. But the kind of glory of the 80s like power ballad electric instrument vibe is one that I'm very familiar with and one I very much enjoy. IMU's kind of brought those two together in a way that I didn't think was possible. Let me explain. There's... Ooh, this is gonna be so hard to find.
For you, so cold.
Perfect.
So cold.
I want you to pay attention to the guitar.
Yeah.
Do you hear the electric guitar in the background? That is very much stylistically on point when it comes to the 80s power ballad. Like, there are, you know, probably hundreds of groups who pulled off that sound back in the 1980s and their power ballads. Just the way the guitar sounds, the way it's been mixed, the way, like, you know, everything's been put together is perfectly encapsulating that 1980s power ballad scene. But it's also paired with a rather broad acoustic guitar element as well. And just the combination of those two is... You don't really associate the combination of those two together, but it works really well, and they don't really clash with each other all that much either. I'm kind of impressed by that. From a music composition point of view, I'm very impressed with how they've managed to balance the power of the electric power ballad with the acoustic ballad. Well, that's one heck of an album. That is one heck of an album. I think my crown still is going to go to Heartbeat Drum because I was not ready for that. Although, New Classic is also really good too. Love Me For Me. It's just a really good album. That's all I'm going to say. God. P1Harmony, man. What a time. What a time. And it's to think it all stemmed from last year. And eventually, I think I'm gonna work my way through P1H's discography at some point, just in my own time, probably, just at my own pace, unless we do viewer requests at some point later down the road. I haven't really excluded that, but I'm also moving in a little bit. That's probably gonna cut out some time from my life, but I'm just talking through my thoughts at this point now. This album, spectacular. Chef's Kiss. The music, great. The vibes, also great. Is my music brain extremely satisfied listening to this? Oh, absolutely. And that's all I could ask for. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today, let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding a door open for somebody, even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day today. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.